Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about gentle skincare, sometimes self-care, and today we're talking September favorites, the video where I get to share with you all the skincare and beauty products that made a big impression on me this month. So if you're so ready to dive into the faves, give the video a big thumbs up and let's get started. So first up, Paula's Choice Pro Retinaldehyde Dual Retinoid Treatment. So this actually is my retinoid replacement for the Peach and Lily Retinol for All Serum, which I talked about in my July favorites video. So I did empty that towards the end of August, and I saw the Paula's Choice Retinaldehyde had recently been released over the summer, and I was like, okay, I was reading into it a little bit more. I was like, this might really suit my skin. I think I want to get this one. And it was so cool because I didn't know, but I received this like a few days later in the mail through PR. The brand sent it to me because they released it. No strings attached or anything like that. But this was actually something I was going to buy. So the fact that it showed up in the mail, I was like, this is meant to be. Really like this. So it is 0.1% of retinaldehyde, which you may know, it's a little bit stronger than retinol. It takes one less step to convert into retinoic acid on the skin. So like essentially like what tretinoin is, right? One less conversion step. So it's a little bit more potent. It works a little bit more faster for the skin than retinol, spelled with an O, right? Which takes 2 steps to convert into that retinoic acid. So it is called the dual retinoid treatment. There's 2 retinoids. So we do have the retinaldehyde, and then they're using 0.16 of adaptonoid. Now, this is kind of like a version, if you will, a novel version of adapalene, which is a retinoid that is used for acne-prone skin. So it has the same benefits, with the collagen stimulation. It's great for well-aging, great for brightening up the skin. But adapalene is a retinoid that is particularly good at helping with acne-prone skin. It's just a little bit better at targeting the congestion that forms within the pores and helping to reduce inflammatory acne. So that's exactly what's happening here with the adaptonoid. This is an ingredient that is oil soluble. It is able to go deeper into the pore within the oil. And if you are congestion prone, which I am, those are the types of active ingredients that you need to help to treat your congestion. They need to go a little bit deeper than just helping with the dead skin cells on the surface. They got to get inside of the pore lining, deep within the pore lining where the clogs are forming, to help exfoliate inside of there and release those clogs, and then to keep those pores clear in the long term. What's interesting about adaptonoid in the studies is that it actually shows that it helps to reduce inflammation within the skin. And I think that this has actually been key for how I've seen success with this particular product, because I have been noticing my skin is clearer for having used this product all month long. I'm noticing not only more clogs releasing in like a very chill way from my skin, and I'll just tell you what that means. I mean that the clogs are coming up to the surface and they're not becoming inflamed and red and creating hyperpigmentation and being like this big deal on my skin. They're just coming close to the surface of the skin, and they're either being released from like oil cleansing or like clay masks, or they just are very tiny, very like non-dramatic whiteheads that just come very cleanly out of the skin, and it's done. There's no hyperpigmentation, there's no scarring, there's no marks, there's no trauma, there's no drama. There's less inflammation on my skin. My skin is less prone to that. And I feel like my skin is brighter too. And I don't know if it's this product specifically, or if it's just the continual effects of this newer skincare routine that I have been using over the last 5 months or so, really starting to show the benefits. Because we're always looking for benefits like 2 weeks in, maybe a month later, but we don't always think about how it works hard for us over a longer course of time, because we just don't have like the attention span, right, or the memory for that. But I do feel that adding this into my retinoid spot throughout the week has really taken it up a notch as far as congestion goes. I'm feeling a lot less under the skin bumps. I'm seeing a lot less inflamed acne because there's been less inflammation. A lot less new hyperpigmentation has been occurring on my skin, and so maybe I feel like my skin looks brighter and has less pigmentation just because the older spots are fading and newer ones aren't forming as rapidly as they were back in the day. Do you know what I'm saying? So anyways, I am very, very impressed with this. This is really the retinoid that I would recommend if you have skin like mine. If you are really looking for that additional benefit for clearing your skin with congestion and acne, this is really the place. This is a strong retinoid because there's 2 in here. This is really like very, very strong. I would not recommend this for beginners necessarily. If you've never used a retinoid product, this would be something to work up to. I don't know that I would start here necessarily. But for me, as I mentioned already, I am a past tretinoin user. I've been using retinaldehyde products. This was a very easy product to work into my skincare routine. And that little bump from the adaptonoid is really something special. So I have to mention the Dr. Idriss Depuffer Roll-On Serum this month because this has been saving my eyeballs, my eye skin so much from seasonal allergies. Man, I feel like I only get a few weeks of like a break in between allergy seasons. Like lately, it's just been really bad nonstop. So it was doing okay, and then all of a sudden, like mid-August, end of August, the allergens just really ramped up in the air. All of a sudden, I could just feel it in my eyes. My eyes were the worst. They were so like watery and gloopy and like burning and like dry and itchy and like gritty. And I would have all this just like all these symptoms of allergic conjunctivitis, like just like this white goo coming out of my eyes. And that's just like the pollutants and like just your eye just like trying to flush it all out. My eye was just like watering all the time. It would sometimes look like I was crying. I'm like, I'm not crying, it's just allergies. And eventually, you know what I mean? Like a few like hardcore days of that, and then the skin around my eyes starts to get really red, just ever so slightly puffy. I'm not super prone to puffiness, but it was starting to occur, especially on my top lids, but like really itchy, really raw, very sensitive, and just, yeah, not good. Didn't feel good, didn't look good. And so I busted this bad boy out. Now, let me tell you, I have actually been using this occasionally throughout like the summer months when I got it. And I tried it out on my eye area and I was like, yeah, it feels nice. It is meant for depuffing the eye area. It is actually a roller ball serum. So there is a stainless steel roller on here, and that's part of the application process, and that helps to, you know, deliver the ingredients into your skin, but also create like that cooling sensation, and also kind of helping to facilitate a little bit of circulation in that area to release some of the fluid and the puffiness, right? And I have been doing that. I was like, I don't really have any like situations of puffiness, but actually a benefit that I was finding with this before I started using it for puffy eyes, I would use a little bit of the serum and I would put it onto pimples, inflamed pimples, when I was still getting them. I'm sure there's some in my future just for having said that. But when I get inflamed pimples, I would put it on there because it's so good at reducing redness and it's so good at reducing the inflammation, and it would take the pimple down. Any pimples that had popped, I would put a little dab of this from my finger, not from the roller ball, because I'm afraid of the bacteria, right? But I would put it onto the open area and it would help to facilitate healing, because the ingredients in here, there's centella in here. We know that that's a goodie for wound healing and taking down redness and inflammation, right? And irritation. Arnica is in here, which has a lot of similar benefits for reducing puffiness and redness. We have niacinamide in here. There's some ash bark, which is also an ingredient that benefits depuffing the skin, right? So there's a lot of great ingredients in here that promote healing, anti-inflammation, reducing redness, reducing puffiness. So I was actually using it more on acne when I first got the serum. And then when my allergies started to flare up towards the end of August, I started using this in my eye area, as it is more advertised for being used. And oh my gosh, it works. I don't know why I'm surprised, because I was like really loving the effects of using this on acne, because it really took, like I said, the inflammation and the redness down. It made it look better pretty quickly. So I was actually surprised that it was taking down the redness in my eye area and making that skin at least appear normal faster. But also just a few days of using this as my dedicated eye care in my routines, the rawness of the skin really started to calm down. The inflammation, the itchiness of that area. Look, I can't stop what's happening inside of my eye. I have dedicated allergy eye drops and stuff for that, and it does does what it can, right? But this has really helped the skin and all of the secondary effects that I was getting from the allergies and the skin around my eyes. And I think I showed this to you in my retinol routine for fall, how I've been using this to just kind of keep that skin nice and strong, just kind of skipping out on cream right now, and just kind of taking care of my skin while it's getting we're getting through this allergy season, right? And then I'll return to regular eye creams. But yeah, it's not a gimmick. It actually works. The roller ball feels amazing, but it is also a secondary great benefit for helping to heal and soothe acne as well. Now, speaking about products that I wasn't sure was going to live up to the hype, this is Dr. ForHair Unove Deep Damage Treatment EX. So this is a deep conditioning hair treatment or hair mask, and you've probably seen this. If you're deep into K-beauty, you've seen this all over like the K-beauty like websites and stuff, right? Like this, first of all, I mean, very striking with the black and the very light pink, right? Like the design is very aesthetic. It catches your eye. And for a long time, I thought this was only popular because it looked nice and modern and sleek, right? And I was like, I'm sure it's just a whatever hair problem. I'm sure it's like fine, like, but it's probably not like a miracle worker, right? And so I had resisted it for a while. I keep rubbing it because I just took it out of the shower and there's a little bit of water in the cap. This is how much I love this, right? I had to take it right from the shower. So yeah, I thought that it was just like one of those viral products that everybody talks about. And then once you get your hands on it, you're like, I don't get it. I get it. I really get it. This is awesome. Now, I shared last month in my More Nope video that I was using a shampoo and conditioner from Moist Diane, which is a Japanese brand that really was not good. It actually kind of dried out my hair. It made it feel pretty rough. And I do feel like I did sustain a little bit of damage actually from using that. My ends were really, really rough, really dry, kind of frayed. I'll be honest with you, I have had a little bit of a hair trim since then, just a tiny trim though. And since then, I just feel like my hair has not quite like gotten up to where it was. And then I started using this and I love it. I fell so deeply in love with it. This is so great because it is very deeply repairing. But it's not heavily moisturizing. And there's a difference here because this makes my hair feel incredibly soft, strong, manageable. It actually makes it look very, like, doesn't it look great straight right now? Like a little extra, like better than it normally does because of this. It makes it look really, really shiny. It's so soft, so silky, so resilient. But it's not relying on blasting your hair with a lot of moisture in order to repair it. They're using lots of different proteins and things to give a lot of strength and structure to your hair, but they're not necessarily blasting it with lots of oils and emollients that can weigh certain hair types down. My hair generally does well with a lot of moisture, but sometimes some of those hair masks, especially if you're using them on a consistent basis, can kind of build up and then start to weigh your hair down. And so this has this really nice kind of balmy texture that coats your hair but rinses very cleanly, and just, again, it just doesn't weigh your hair down. I have seen some reviews. I do not have fine hair by any means, but I've seen some reviews of people who claim to have fine hair that this doesn't weigh their hair down either. So it's really more on the repairing side than it is on a deep moisturizing side. But I think that's what my hair needed after that shampoo and conditioner left my hair feeling quite crinkly and dry. This really restored a lot of the strength back into my hair, and it makes, like, I can't stop doing this because my hair just feels so silky and manageable. It looks so good, and again, it's not weighed down. So I've even been sometimes using this twice a week. And so sometimes what I'll do is I'll put my normal conditioner, which is the Subaki Premium Repair Conditioner. I'll put that at my scalp just to kind of keep things from getting, too heavy. I'm always nervous because I like to wash my hair like every 3 days so that it's got to last, right, in between washes. So sometimes I'll just put my normal conditioner there, and then I'll just coat the other 3/4 of my hair in the deep conditioning mask. And then I will also put this from root to tip too. But I'm just saying, like, if you're ever worried about things building up or getting heavy, that's a tip for you with any mask or conditioner that you're using. Use your normal conditioner here and then just put that deeper repairing or conditioning treatment just slightly away from the scalp. It can really help your wash last a lot longer throughout the week. And my next favorite is actually a book. This is The Science of Beauty by Dr. Michelle Wong, aka Leavv Muffin Beauty Science. Yes, I am so excited Michelle wrote a book. And not only am I excited for her that she, accomplished this. This is such an amazing accomplishment. It's actually a really good book. I'm really impressed with the content of this book. It was released in the spring and I bought it right away. But I have to admit, I didn't get around to reading it until recently. And my first impressions of the book were it's beautifully designed. But now that I'm diving deep into here, this is like full of knowledge bombs. Like there's so many fantastic gems of information in here. And so if you're ever looking to just kind of like take it to the next level with your knowledge base, it's not just skincare. This book also covers hair care. It covers makeup. It covers nails. It covers all the different things from how products are formulated, what to look for in your products, how to know if your products are working, but it also troubleshoots things like, should I be drinking more water? Does that help my skin? What is the science of hair? What goes into shampoo and conditioner? How can I choose the right one for my hair type? What goes into makeup? What are the ingredients I should or shouldn't be avoiding in my skincare routines? If you ever wanted to learn a little bit more about the science of beauty, the title, but you want it in a fun and approachable and easy to understand way, like this is it. This is, and I mean this in the best way possible, this is like a textbook of beauty. When you would like go through your textbooks in school and they'd have all the cool pictures and stuff and you'd be like, I can't wait till we get to this part. Was it just me that was like excited? I can't wait to get to this chapter, this module. But like that's exactly what this book is. It is so beautifully designed. Everything is really easy to understand. There's no big long chapters here. It's very easy to digest in small goes. And like, look at how gorgeous this is. And it is just full of information about hair, about skin, about everything that you possibly could. This is something I'm going to be keeping on my bookshelf in my office whenever I need to reference. Why does this work the way that it does? Give me a little bit more information about hair care, which I know nothing about. Give me a little bit more information about different skin types and ingredients. It's all right here. It's really easy to read, really easy to access, beautifully designed. Like I'm thrilled for Michelle, of course, but I'm also thrilled to own this because this is going to be an important and helpful resource for me. And I think it's a fantastic book. Not all skincare books, not all beauty books are, in my opinion, very helpful. This one actually really delivers a ton of value. So to wrap up this month, I first and foremost want to encourage everybody who's watching this video from the United States that is of legal age to make sure you are registered to vote and you have your plan for voting by November 5th. Obviously, we hear about the election all the time now, right? The stakes are incredibly high, but voting is very important. Your voice is very important and it is very much needed. Now is not the time to opt out. Now is the time to opt in, make your voice heard, right? You are very, very important. So for this month's Self-Care Corner, I want to talk about gratitude. Now, I know I've talked about this many times throughout the years here on my channel, but I think it's always a good reminder periodically, especially right now as we're moving into the holiday season, the shopping season. I think that this time can bring out a lot of feelings of unworthiness in us because our society is really built in a way to constantly keep us reaching for the next thing. We always have to keep our eyes forward and always be reaching for the new next thing to buy or to consume, the next level. We're always like trying to move up the career ladder, right? Or the next level in our relationships or the next level of our personal development, right? Or we have something, but now we need the upgraded version because somehow it's newer, it's better, and we have to have it now. Our society, it's capitalistic, right? It's built for us to constantly be doing that. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to improve yourself or wanting to move up a ladder or wanting to progress with a relationship, right? Or wanting to buy things. None of that is bad, but it can become a little bit of like an issue with us in our minds, right? And how we feel about ourselves if we're only caught in that cycle and we never stop the cycle and take a step back and say, look at all the things that I have around me that are amazing. I'm so grateful. I'm saying this because this is a lesson that like I've taken on again this month. I'm like, you need to look around you and be grateful for the abundance you already have. It's already here for you. But you're constantly always looking forward, and it makes you feel bad sometimes. Looking forward can be a good motivator, but it can also trap you into feeling unworthy at times. And so the antidote to that, right? The medicine for that, for feeling unworthy, for being trapped in this constantly trying to move up and do better and go forward and reach for more and more and more. The medicine to that is to take a step back into the present moment and find the things that you are grateful for. And I know that some people feel that they don't have things to be grateful for, but I guarantee you there's something, even the smallest thing, to be grateful for. Embrace that. Write it in a journal, write it on a piece of paper, tell a person if it's a person, you know what I mean? Just say it out loud, even if you're by yourself. I'm so grateful. Truly, because there are good things around us. Sometimes it's just up to us to really acknowledge and embrace them. So I'm curious if there's a favorite product or a lesson that you learned in September that you want to share with us. Let us all know in the comments below. If you loved this video and you haven't hit subscribe yet, please hit subscribe, come join our community. I release a lot of new skincare content throughout the week, from long form videos to shorts. So turn on notifications so you're never out of the loop. And I do want to close out this video by expressing my gratitude to you. I feel like I never do it enough. I am so grateful to you. You are what keeps me going. You are what keeps this channel going. And you make my dreams come true. That's so cheesy, but it's true. My heart is so full and I'm so grateful to you all. I hope that you are feeling that. I hope that you are healthy, that you're happy, that you're safe. I love you. I can't wait to see you in October. Bye.